Thank you for tuning in. Only do X on Prep with Maaxx West and Achilles King.
Hello, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that was way too loud. Way too loud still.
You gotta do a new voice every time. Okay, we're back in the studio. And it's very early. So this is today we're going to have early morning coffee talks. Even though you're not drinking coffee, but that's fine.
I'm not. I'm not really much of a coffee drinker anyway, though. But only Americano.
Okay. You have an energy drink obsession, and I feel like it's somewhat my fault.
Yeah, I do.
I come over with energy drinks every time and stuck up your fridge because I can't finish it myself.
Yeah,
okay, so I left my apartment a few days ago, and now I invaded your space with all my shit. And what's today? Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to Turkey.
Yeah, it's gonna
How
be
do you
interesting.
feel?
I don't know how I feel. I mean, this is gonna be like I went from Let's let them know. I went from getting my teeth done, and that was what was that? Wednesday or something like that. Thursday this week. Mm-hmm. That was a 5.5 hour procedure, and they put me under anesthesia, but a local anesthesia, not the sleeping one, and that was very interesting. And then,
what did you do to your teeth?
I got veneers. I'm getting veneers. Well, yeah, no, right. Yes. So I decided to get veneers. Even the dentist was like, "Well, you have nice teeth." I'm like, "Yeah, no," but I just kind of wanted to,
Achilles is actually a vampire, and he had to get his fangs filed down because it was becoming an issue.
Yeah. My wolf teeth, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what they're called. Whatever they're called. I think it's early. I'm just trying to think of what I'm gonna say. Yeah, but
no, but you're actually getting a little bit more on the fangs, right?
Yeah, just a little bit more. And then so that was interesting. And then tomorrow, early morning before Turkey, is gonna be another 2-hour procedure to get the veneers in. And
so you had a lot of not pain, you said, but it was
discomfort.
Right?
It was a discomfort, but the procedure was fine. I had literally one of the best dentists I've personally ever worked with. She's amazing. She did a hell of a job. Even the grafting of the teeth, I told her I didn't want fake like those veneers that look like chiclets. Like when you smile, you look like you have gum in your mouth. I was like, yeah, I don't want that. And she's like, no, I totally understand. And so when she did the design, the teeth have character, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want when I smiled, it's like, whoa.
Do they still look like yours?
Yeah, they still look like mine a little bit. They're just more enhanced, and she did a fantastic job. And then I also didn't want them too white because I'm not trying to wake somebody up in the morning when I smile.
So wait, why did you want to get them at all?
It's been something that I put, honestly, to be honest, it's something that I put on my vision board. This was back in 2019. And I remember walking in to a dental office and wanting to get them done. And at that time, they were like $30,000 or $25,000 to get. Just something I always wanted to do. This time,
why though? Like, what was wrong with your teeth?
I personally, a lot of people think that there was nothing wrong with my teeth. I just didn't feel comfortable smiling for whatever reason. I had a little gap in between my teeth. And I don't know, I found it difficult to smile because I wasn't happy about it.
Little gap. You can just do
biting? I could have probably put a biting in there and fill it up.
But they're wider than your actual teeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason I would do it, but I'm terrified. I don't want to touch my teeth.
Yeah. I was kind of terrified also because I didn't want my teeth to be shaved down to little sticks, and that's not how it works. Yeah. But okay, as far as
I understand, the ones where they file them down a lot, they last longer, right? And the ones you're doing, they last a little bit shorter time frame.
15, 20 years, mine.
These last 15, 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, these last for 15 years. It was great. I didn't feel any pain. And she was like, "You don't want any more local anesthesia?" I said, "No, I'm fine." And then after that, we're going to Turkey at 9 p.m., which is great. Just give me some time to recover. And I'm just gonna get my hair transplant. So
You like to push it, huh?
yeah.
And you were supposed to get a wisdom teeth pulled, and they didn't do it, right?
Yeah, they didn't for whatever reason. She was just like, yeah, it's gonna be too much trauma, right now. So just kind of wait, and yeah, when I get back, I'm probably gonna get my wisdom tooth after that.
And then tell me, so you can't train for a month after the hair transplant, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
What the fuck are you gonna do, son?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be in my room depressed and listening to Adele, probably.
I love how she's just associated with depression.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for me because this is what I do. So I don't have no idea. Maybe, and just probably make some improvements in my business. Read more. I don't know, maybe walk with the monks or something. I don't know.
So I'm coming with you to Turkey because you insisted I come there, right? But you also know that I'm gonna make a lot of weird, crazy, stupid content.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm ready for it.
Because I post everything.
Mm-hmm.
I posted you the other day screenshot from our FaceTime and wrote, "Would you dare to be my friend?" That's what. But you know this already.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting trip. I mean, I've never been to Turkey before, so we do have a quote unquote day, I guess, when we get there. I'm not sure, but
exploring.
Just a little exploring.
Foresting.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. So what? This is a 9-hour procedure.
Yeah, 9 hours.
When you're awake.
You're awake. Yeah. You
have looking forward anesthesia. To it?
No, I'm not. No, I'm definitely not. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I mean, I do. All right. So here's the deal with the whole hair situation, because a lot of people have had a ton of questions about it. So I don't know. A couple of years back, I started losing my hair, and for some reason it's not hereditary. Like my father still has all his hair, my grandfather still has all his hair. And I guess there was a point in my life that I was going through a lot of stress. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, you're losing your hair because you're going through a lot of stress. And I guess maybe the trauma from the stress, I don't know what happened. It's just my hair stopped growing, and it started growing in patches. So what I did was I went to Miami, and I just got some micro pigmentation done on my head, like a tattoo. And it's been working out for me for a couple of years, but, I still have the insecurity of walking around with no hat on in the sun because my head's shining. So that's just me. This just looks like a bowling ball.
So I mean, this is a good thing to. I mean, I think we've been touching on it before, but the fact that people don't realize how bad stress can affect you, and it can affect people in different ways. So I know in the past when I had stress, like my stomach, that's like my area of stuff, while somebody like you, like maybe you don't get the stomach issues, but you're losing the hair. So it can affect people differently depending on the person. And I said, people need to start taking it seriously, and not, because when I was younger, I used to stress over things. Like if something went wrong or, whatever it was, I would get very stressed very fast, I remember. And these days I can get, like, I can still get stressed for things, don't get me wrong, but I always try to stay calm no matter what. And I said, you saw, for example, I was in the hospital with that infection thing I did, and I would just we were talking on the phone, and I'm just laughing. And I'm in so much pain, and everything's shitty, and you're like, why are you laughing? And I was like, well, everything's fine. I'm alive, am I not? And I'm just trying to, like, not stress no matter what it is, because the stressing over something that is already bad is just going to make it worse.
Yeah. And at the time when I was stressing, I was also gaining weight. I was eating
that's another thing.
terribly, and it affected my health a lot. So, one night, like I told you, when they took a picture of me at McDonald's is when I was like, whoa, I got to change my life. So.
And you're saying, because I think I've asked you before, so you started losing your hair from stress, and even though you're in a better place right now and maybe not stressed like that, it still didn't come back, right?
No, it didn't come back, but let me tell you the difference. Now, I remember being stressed, and my hair didn't grow as thick as it does now, because I still grow like thick hair, like in really important areas. Important areas, as they say. The important areas is the donor area, where The hair is extremely healthy still. And I've noticed even when I cut my hair, in 2 days and my hair is growing back again. So it's a big difference because back in the day when I would cut my hair, it would take forever to grow in those areas. And now I'm noticing like, wow, like this thing grows in 2 days. Like when I went to do the TV show in London, my barber that was cutting me there, he's like, dude, I just cut your hair yesterday. It's already growing. So yeah, you know, I see.
Do you know what I was told yesterday? So I'm having a session with a client of mine that recently started doing cold plunges. Telling me that, you know, it makes sense, but telling me that, you know, your hair grows so much faster when you cold plunge. Because she was like, yeah, you know what, I have to shave my legs all the time now because apparently the cold, like, triggers the hair growth somehow. And I was like, can I dip my head in there? It's not gonna work.
Does like living in cold areas do that for you?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Because I lived in Rhode Island, and let me tell you, we were there in below zero weather. Not that we were outside,
it's cold during a
but
cold plunge, no?
I'm not educated on that, so I wouldn't know. So
I don't know actually.
yeah.
Well.
I mean, when I did the cold plunge at Emily's house, I don't know. I
still have not tried it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I need to do it though.
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to do cold showers.
Yeah. I when I did the cold plunge over there, I don't know. I didn't feel anything. It's weird.
You died for a second.
Yeah, I think I died. Shout out to Emily. Emily Hayden, I miss you.
Emily, coming to visit you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my brain is very slow right now. Oh, we're gonna go eat somewhere today.
Yeah,
That's quite exciting.
We're going to Nicky Jam's restaurant.
So I don't even know how I found it. So because my food sensitivity is everything that I talk about all the time. So this place, I've been wanting to eat arepas for I don't know how long. And every time I see them somewhere, I swear, you know, these little carts, they sell them. I will always run over and I was like, hi, is there by any chance do you have a gluten-free one? They're like, no. And they have a gluten-free arepa. So I'm going to have that and gluten-free pancakes.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm super excited, but also scared because now we've been eating clean for a little bit and you immediately feel so much better, right? Because I was eating a lot of shit after the show. So now I've been eating clean again. I feel so good, like sleeping better, feel better, everything feels better. And I was like, shit, do I really want to do this?
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, yesterday I ate too much protein yesterday.
But you're still eating clean stuff, though.
Yeah, I ate too much protein yesterday, though, and I felt like, ugh. So, like, this morning, I'm probably just going to get some French toast.
French toast?
The real
And then we're going to go
French
work
toast.
out after, which I never, ever, ever do. After I eat, I never want to do anything. I go into food coma. So this is like a kind of like a challenge for me that I'm going to eat a lot, but not to the point where I can't train,
because then, you know, digesting and all that. I personally don't train. I train on an empty stomach.
Yeah, well, I don't, but my body burns it off fast.
So,
okay, either way, you had a topic you wanted to talk about. You said relationship something. How's your spicy Saturday going?
Well, yesterday
on TikTok.
Honestly, I just went a different direction because I didn't want to get banned again.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, talking about the Kama Sutra book or whatever, but yesterday went amazing. I was talking about 14 different ways on communicating better in a relationship.
Why 14?
I just wrote them down. I was just writing notes.
I'm like, is this
whatever. It was just magic number.
14 ways of communicating. This is a book, Achilles.
Yeah, no, right.
Seriously. Okay.
So yeah, no.
Tell me a couple of them.
Yeah, I think that during an argument, people should learn how to compromise because there's always going to be things that you agree on and there's things that I disagree with, and we just have to learn how to compromise because I think that when you're in an argument, a lot of people want to win. It's all about winning in an argument. You have to understand that your partner, and then there's number 3, your partner is not your enemy. Your partner is your partner. So you guys are in this together. So you have to figure out ways to kind of communicate. And that's the problem. A lot of people think they know how to communicate, but they honestly don't.
Yes.
And number 5, You
Wait,
know,
how are we on number 5 now?
yeah, because okay, so I'll tell you. So
Yeah.
first of all, you want to win. You don't want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, compromise,
Mm-hmm.
and your partner is not your enemy. He is your partner, or she is your partner. And then the other one would be when your partner is explaining themselves, right, expressing themselves. You can't just be sitting there thinking of ways to respond. You have to really take whatever they're telling you in, like, and really accept it and understanding that person's in their emotions. And you have to be generally like, man, I'm really sorry that I've made you feel this way and I've triggered you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times you're like ready to just, just say something, and and then here's another thing. Your partner picks that up, and immediately the argument starts to flare even more because they're looking at your body, your hand mannerisms, your facial mannerisms, and they're like, oh, well, you're not listening now? You're not listening to me? And then the argument turns into something else. So those are the things that I was talking about in terms of communication, because, and even in a lot of people, a lot of women that come into my lives, they're always blaming why the relationship didn't work. Well, that person did this and that person did that. I'm like, listen, you guys came into the relationship together.
People, yeah.
It takes two, right? Regardless of, there may be one individual that may not be skilled in one area or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person did everything wrong in the relationship and you did everything great.
No, obviously it's both parts.
It takes both. It's both parts. And I told him, I said, I want you to, and I also told him that you guys think that you know exactly what you want from a man. You really don't. You know why? Because I practiced this, right? This was back in 2021. I went to she got a hairball in your mouth?
Yes. Hairball and coffee crap.
Yeah, so a friend of mine taught me, they were like, what kind of woman do you see yourself being with? And I told him, I was like, well, that's not really specific. That's not really detailed. That's kind of like a broad thing. I'm like, okay.
Do you think they're referring to outside?
It's not that.
When people ask what's your type? It's always, it's a tall
very
person
surface
with brown hair.
Yes, very, very surface level. So when you, just cracking open a beer this morning. When you think about the person that you want to be with, you have to write down specifics. Hold on.
This whole podcast is a bunch of sounds. You have a hairball too?
No, this is the damn templates coming out now.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
He's
I'll
losing
explain
his
that.
teeth now.
Hold on. I feel like I got these like some plastic things on. So you got to write down specifics like beyond physical. Like, what do you want? How do you want that person to be? If you have not written that down, I don't think you're going to get the person that you want, because I actually wrote down the ideal woman that I want.
Personality traits, right?
Everything.
Did you write anything from what they look like?
Yes. The color of the eyes, the color of the hair, the smell of their skin, like things like that's being specific with it.
So if you're writing down a bunch of stuff, let's say that you want this and this and this and this personality trait, right? But they have the wrong color eyes, is it not going to work then?
No, obviously you just, nobody's perfect at the end of the day, but imagine. But, just little things like that. That's practice. It's just kind of...
Okay, ladies, just so you all know. If you have blue eyes, you are not perfect in Achilles' eyes.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just fucking around.
No, I know. But, just things that you've noticed through the years that you've been more attracted to, I guess, physically. And then just kind of, so that way you're not in a relationship being like, well, I don't know, like...
I don't have it. I someday I'm going to show pictures of all my exes to you, and you're going to see how different they all look. Like, literally, complete opposite.
No, I saw them.
I don't have a visual type.
One guy looked like Homer Simpson. The other guy...
Yes. No, I swear. Like, people always... I genuinely do not have a visual type. Because I've told you before, there are certain things that I can see and find attractive to look at, but that is rarely what I actually go for.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't. I mean, I'm not saying you have to go insanely specific. I mean, you just have to be specific and the things that you know that you personally like. I was just giving an example, but yeah, just things like that, and they loved it. You know, I'm actually starting to really like relationship talks on my Instagram, on my TikTok. So it's something that I like to do in my pastime. So.
I mean, I like it because I feel like it has to do with everything. The things you're talking about, now you're talking about a love relationship, but technically you could apply all of these things into friendship or work or anything.
Yeah, and that's something
It's
I
the
talk
same.
about.
Mhm.
Same thing. Relationships is not just couples being, it's everything. You apply it to
It's
life.
the same, you know, a lot of times we talked about the 5 love languages, and I said, do you know what your best friend's love language is? Do you know what your mom's love language is? Do you know what your child's love language is? Like, people should ask themselves this. It's not just about a partner.
And you nailed it right there. You know why? Because a lot of these people get into these relationships and they say, well,
do they even know what their love language is?
Exactly. Yeah. This person didn't show me appreciation. Not appreciation. This person didn't tell me that they cared about me, that they found me attractive in the morning. They didn't compliment me. Well, maybe that person didn't have words of affirmation. Maybe that person's way of showing love was showing acts of service.
Yeah, and these they never even noticed.
Yeah, and these are the things that people don't understand, is that when you're out there looking for a relationship, you should know the things that you're looking for, so that way you can make an actual connection with somebody. And another person, this is another thing that I wanted to touch on. It's kind of like, this is just my perspective on this.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah, please.
Is it hard to talk with these things in?
Kind of, yeah.
Because you sound a little funny.
Yeah, I know. I sound different right now.
You sound like I do when I put my teeth aligners in for sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it's fun.
Wisp.
It's fun.
No.
Keep going.
Yeah. Somebody was like, well, I'm not sure if I am ready for a relationship, but then I do want to date a lot of people to figure out what I want. I'm like, what? You want to date a lot of people to figure out what you want in a person? So what you're doing is you're leading other people on that may be ready for a relationship, and you're sitting there trying to analyze them and see if this is the type of person you want to be with. I get dating. Look, you're either dating with intention on actually being in a relationship, or you're dating for entertainment.
So how do you recommend a person that says something like that? How do you recommend they figure out what they are looking for without having to do that?
Love languages and your agreements.
Like read the book or
read your book.
Yeah.
And then also I would do is look back at all your relationships that you've been in, and take away the things that you liked out of that individual and the things that you did not like and the things that you don't want moving forward. So that way you understand that, hey, look, you know what? Whatever so-and-so was terrible at this, but he was good at that. And that's what I really liked about the relationship. So look for somebody that kind of does the same thing. So that way you're happy in your relationship. And then also don't be with somebody that you were with last month or a year ago, because then you're just repeating the same thing.
Yep.
So, for more information, go to www.achilleskingrelationshipcoach.com.
You should buy the domain. Seriously.
No, I'm serious. I'm trying to figure out a way
buy
to.
It now, somebody might take it after listening to the podcast.
Yeah, and you're gonna. Maaxx West is going to design the website for me.
Yes.
When I get my new pearly whites, I'm going to be.
So wait, what are you gonna offer on the site?
Offer?
What do people do on it?
So what I was.
Hire you for coaching?
I would say that's a good idea. I haven't thought that far,
You need
but
a book.
I was thinking about doing a little PDF or something. I don't know.
You should actually make a book. I am really slacking, but I need to finish my book too.
A book on relationships? That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, whoa.
Do it. Oh, speaking of that, so actually, when I lived in Sweden, I worked as a logistics coordinator at a company, and we took conflict management classes to be able to handle conflicts in the workspace. But it still applies to it, because I remember there were a few things that you talked about that I remember. For example, let's say that you have an argument and I don't agree with you. You don't have to agree with the person. So let's say I somehow hurt you, right? And you're angry or sad or whatever. I need to be able to say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I don't have to think that I did something wrong. I don't have to say, oh, because sometimes it's like, I don't want to say I'm sorry because I don't feel like I did something wrong. But I need to be able, because they always said that, I need to be able to say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, because that I can be sorry for without agreeing with you, right?
Here's the kicker to that, though. Okay. You may, it may, and I don't want you to just turn this into something like where you're saying sorry because you just know that person's upset. No, you genuinely have to apologize, because that person's going to pick up on your shit. Because I could be in a relationship with someone, and if I hear sorry the first time and they're being really sincere about it, I'm going to pick up on these things because we've been together for so long. So the next time you say sorry, it has to match up, because you may be saying sorry because you're angry and you're just trying to get rid of trying to get over the situation.
You know, I say this all the time. I hate to use, it's very rare that I use the words I'm sorry. And I tell you all the time, I tell other people I know that always like to say, sorry, I'm sorry. I said, stop apologizing. I don't like people just apologizing just to apologize, because it doesn't mean anything. So I said, I don't use these words very much, because when I use them, I want to genuinely mean it. And, you know, I say this all the time. I want you to know that whatever I say, I mean that. That's why sometimes I say things that you're like, what the fuck did Maaxx say right now? That's weird. And then I say something good, you know that I actually mean that too. I'm just trying to be true always.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And sometimes I'm an asshole, but then so be it.
Yeah, you're mean to me sometimes, so.
Like what? Like when?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
She was like, took
I
that
just
sip.
mean I don't apologize very much. And I mean, if somebody...
Why don't you apologize very much? What's wrong with apologizing?
Because I won't apologize if I don't genuinely mean it. That's what I said with this. If I hurt you, for example, I can be sorry for hurting you, but I'm not going to walk around and say I'm sorry for stuff that when I don't actually think. You know, people will, like, you need to word it properly to mean it. So that's why I think people need to think that way. If I do something, you get mad at me, but I don't think I did something wrong, and then I shouldn't apologize for what I did, because that's a bullshit coming out of my mouth then.
Well, yeah, I get it.
If I want to apologize, or I want to try to make this better, what I need to be able to do is, okay, I'm sorry I hurt you, because I can be sorry that you got mad at me, but I'm not going to be sorry for what I did, because maybe I don't think it was wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm just meaning for people.
You're not going to, what you're trying to say is you're not going to apologize for what you believe in. If that's what you believe in,
because then I'm lying.
Then you'd be lying to yourself, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. But again, that's a relationship. We have to agree to disagree, and we have to come in the middle, and we have to compromise when it comes to arguments.
I think in general, people just need to try to understand other people without having to agree with them.
Yeah. And to be honest, I remember me back in the day, I was, not that I was never argumentative, but when I strongly believed in something, like, you couldn't change my mind for nothing. Like, I'm like, well, this is how I feel. And I immediately wanted to be right. Because when I found, like, I would dissect the conversation and be like, oh, this person's wrong about this. Mm-hmm. This doesn't make any type of sense. Where's the facts behind that? Mm-hmm. And now it's more like, okay, let me just listen. Because sometimes when somebody's expressing themselves, when they're upset, it may not make sense. Because they're upset, they're disgruntled, and their mind's racing 1,000 miles a minute because they're trying to express themselves, their emotions, they're angry. And when you're super angry like that, it's hard to really break down words and be, specific.
When was the last time you were really angry?
Like, extremely, like, about to burn down the freaking building angry? Or just, like, this
really
very upset?
Angry.
What I just explained? Or just, there's levels to me. Like, I have different levels.
Okay, what do you do when you're angry? If you get really pissed, how are you? Tell people, because I always say to people, do you know what? If I would date somebody, I always say this. I won't know 100% how I feel about somebody until we've had an argument somehow.
Yeah, when it comes to arguments,
Yeah.
I'm very like chill. I'm very chill when it comes to arguments. I'm just like, yeah, okay, let me just listen to this person, and if I know that I'm wrong about something, I'm going to apologize for it, and I'm going to apologize, like I told you earlier, for how I made you feel. And if I'm very much so I can compromise at any moment. But are you talking about being angry in a relationship? Or are you talking about being angry just in general about things and
In
like,
general.
um, I don't know, like. Okay. So now when I get angry, um, I don't know. I just get over it very quickly. I don't have to. I don't really get angry like that. Like if I get embarrassed, there's a difference.
I don't think I've ever seen you angry.
Yeah, if I get embarrassed about something, then yeah, then I'm like all over the place. But if I'm angry, it's very short lived because I made a like so I said this to myself when my brother died, and because I was super angry, and think like after everything kind of started calming down or whatever, I said, you know what, like I don't want to die angry. I don't want to die upset. I want to live my life. Whenever it's my time to go, happy, because the last thing that I would want after all this traumatic things that happened in my life is to be upset, sad about just anything when a car can hit me tomorrow and I don't know.
Yep.
So
very true.
that's just how I look at it. Like when things come into my life that's very stressful, I'm like, all right, well, things could be a lot worse, So yeah, that's it. So angry. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It just depends, Like even like I think about fighting also. If you won't really know when I'm angry like that. You won't really like know because I don't really like jump around and make a show. I'm just sitting there like, oh boy,
Do you think that, I mean, do you think that us, like, we go to the gym and we fucking beat the shit out of the weights, kind of? Do you think that makes you a better person in general?
Yeah, you release stress.
Yeah.
Instead of releasing stress on other people, which it's so wrong to do because you're feeling some type of way. You release the stress on something that you're passionate about, and it's meditation. I think the last time I was like kind of upset, I wasn't angry, is when I was like at Emily's house and I saw that message from that random person. You remember that?
A random person? No.
Yeah, I don't really want to be specific about what it was, but you should remember. It was like I came downstairs and I was like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" Remember that? Come on.
I think I know, but now I was like,
yeah, I don't want to I don't want to touch base on it. But I came downstairs. I was just so like, so here's the thing about me. If somebody's talking shit that doesn't live that life to talk shit, it really bothers me. So you just look at internet warrior. You're just somebody that has never been through shit. So those are the type of people that really piss me off, because it's like, yo, you're saying all this shit because you're not in front of me. But if you were, you would not be saying any of that. And that the type of shit that pisses me off, because where I grew up at, when you're looking at someone and you have war with somebody, like, you're gonna know, and those people come from that background. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I gotta get ready and whatever.
Do you think you would be the same? Like, do you think you would be the same exact way online as offline? Like, if you say something harsh to somebody online, would you do it to their face?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. And I would say, if somebody wants to test that out, bring it on, guys. But I feel like I'm always the exact same.
Yeah, I remember. Let's talk about this. This is good. I remember being so pissed off that I was literally going to I was going to drop my location. That's how pissed off I was. Drop my location to this person. I said, you know what? This is where I live. Whenever you're outside, let me know.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. I think that this is one I wanted to touch base on, and like just a little bit, because I don't want to, glorify this or whatever. But me and my brothers come from very harsh conditions, and I'm just going to say this, we had to figure out ways to survive a lot. And there was many situations in our lives that we things that we did that weren't always the right thing to do, but it was almost like we had to figure out ways to defend ourselves at this point. So I've been in many situations where like things like that, like I'm just numb to it. I'm just like, all right, well, let's go. No problem. Let's do this right now. If we have to do this now, then that's fine. That's what we have to do. So, when you're in school, even growing up in even middle school, even elementary school, high school, we were always fighting 24/7. We always had to fight. So now it's kind of like, all right, well, and I'm a natural fighter. I've been boxing since I was 14 years old, and I've been in the ring sparring and actually street fighting. And I've gotten into a lot of street fights. I don't think you even know. I got into a lot of street fights.
I've only been in two fights in my life.
So yeah, just things like that.
Did you ever start the fight?
Nah, it was never me. Never really started.
I would never start a fight, but if somebody starts it, there's a devil in here.
Yeah. Well, let me take that back. I did start probably one. Maybe one. But yeah, just,
somebody, I would never, ever start. It's the same with...
Well, actually, no, I lied. I didn't start that fight. It was something that happened, and somebody was getting bullied, and I'm just like, all right, bro, like, you want to bully him, but you're not bullying me, like, things like that. But yeah, I don't think that was like starting the fight.
Yeah, I'm still here waiting to see you angry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh no, back in the day. Oh yeah, I used to black out a lot, like completely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to be very angry back in the days when I used to party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blackout. It was terrible. Yeah, it was very terrible. But I would never, when I was angry and I blacked out, I always knew subconsciously that I wasn't able to hurt a human being for no reason. Just because I was angry.
You don't remember anything?
Yeah. Like really fucking angry. Like don't remember anything, but I know like subconsciously that I would not hurt another person for no reason, for some reason. Like I get super angry, but like I still would have like some common sense in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what you would be angry like that by yourself or like in a fight, kind of?
Oh, and no, well,
because when you're saying black out, I'm like trying to wrap my head around
I see. There's
like,
two different versions. Yeah. When I mean, in my early ages, when I was younger, like a kid, I would black out and things like that. But like obviously, as I got older and when I got angry, like like there's times that I had to kind of like stop a little bit. But
do you think that? So there's a TV screen right next to it with Biden on it.
Okay.
If he was here right now, do you think he would get angry?
I mean, because he's not the one. He's not. He's not the one in control anyway.
He's not, just a puppet. But he's still doing what he's being told.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, this whole shit going on in the world definitely makes me angry, but it's not like I'm sitting here by myself, just like,
Yeah, actually, what really got me angry is a video of a friend of mine that he sent me, which is a store clerk was getting robbed.
Yeah,
man, that boiled my blood. Guy comes in, robbing a store clerk, gas station or whatever, and steals money. And the store clerk's like, all right, here, bro, just take everything. Just take what you got to take and just leave. So he gives him everything, and then he tells the guy to get on his knees, and then he shoots him. Just like, dude, the guy gave you everything. There's no ethics at all. Like, when there's no morals, like, what kind of shit is that? That really got to me. So yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess that's the closest I've seen you angry, because I did notice that you get upset over that. Like I got too, but I posted it on my story.
Yeah, it really got me, man.
Really crazy. I think I've been like, I've been angry, but like really, really angry was. I think I briefly shared the story before when my dogs were killed. I lived in an apartment complex. Now I can see, I might have said it before. It's called The Beacon in Jersey City. So guys, don't live in that shithole. I had a teacup Yorkie, and they had like rats and mice problem in the building. So I remember like I would wake up at night. So this is like a routine I always had. I would always wake up during the night to need to go pee. And I would always take my dog with me so he could pee on his little pee-pee pad at the same time as me. So both of us would always get up like middle of the night, like basically eyes still shut. I would like go into the bathroom and he would do his thing. And then there would be this fucking mouse. One time we're sitting there, this mouse is starting to run around inside the bathroom. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I'm freaking out. The mouse is freaking out. My dog's freaking out. And then after this, we started seeing like a lot of mice inside of the apartment. So I told the complex, I was like, yo, you gotta do something. Like these freaking things are like the size of my dog almost. My dog was tiny. It was 2.5 pounds.
Oh my God.
So either way, I tell them, so they came in and put these like rat traps kind of. And I saw it and I was like, whoa, hold on. You gotta take this shit out. Like my dog can get stuck in that thing because they weren't hiding it either. So they swapped them out to these sticker boxes, you know? And then either way, long story short, I went on a trip for like 2 days and I had a roommate back then that watched my dog while I was there. He calls me like in the middle of the night. He's like, Maaxx, I don't know, like don't freak out, but like I don't know what's going on. I'm on my way to the vet right now because there's blood in Prince Voodoo's mouth. That was my dog's name. And I was like, what? And I'm on the phone the whole time. Same, like they get to the hospital, everything, my dog dies. Like there was nothing they could do. And I got the report after saying that he was rat poisoned. And I was like, what? But how? You know? It was like, it makes no sense. So either way, I'm very sad. Obviously, I go down to the leasing office and tell them, like, I'm like crying, telling them that my dog just died. And first of all, they're being rude as fuck, like super rude to me. And my friend, who's a lawyer, helped me bring in the Department of Health that did a whole checkup on the apartment and found that there was rat poison put around the whole apartment, but not by a professional. Like it wasn't put out in a proper way how they're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. It was just literally laying on the floor. So my dog had ate it, and what happens when a dog eats rat poison is that their vitamin K just slowly but surely like lowers in the body, and when it's gone, they drown in their own blood. So basically, he just drowned.
And did you get to sue them or anything?
Well, I tried, but New Jersey has a really fucked up rule when it comes to dogs. Very, very, very disturbingly fucked up. So there was nothing we could do. We really tried. Either way, so this was the first dog. I was very sad and everything. So first I said, you gotta get me out of this apartment. I don't want to live in it. They refused to let me out of my lease, and they were acting like assholes towards me. And I mean real assholes. The thing is, if I would have gone down, I just explained to them what happened. I was just sad. I wasn't angry. I wasn't, I was just sad. That was my puppy was my everything. And this is right after I broke my wrist too. I had just come back from Sweden from surgery. I went through this whole 13-month shit with my arm. So, they wouldn't let me out of the apartment. I kept living there. And it's been like, I don't know, 3-4 months later. I was like, I want to have a dog. Like, I want to get another dog. And I tell them, you got to switch the apartment because I want to get another dog. I can't live in this apartment. So they say, no, they won't do that. And then I said, okay, so here's the deal. Then I need the whole place, the whole apartment sanitized and like confirmed that it's okay for a dog. So they brought in a whole team. I even have a signed paper saying that the whole apartment was sanitized. There are no traces of rat poison. This is a fucking signed document, contract. I get the other dog. I don't even have this dog for a month. I just wake up one day, or like, I don't know what time of the day it was. I saw blood coming out of his mouth. And I freak out, because this time I know what's going on. I take my dog. I live in Jersey City. It's at night. No animal hospital is open. I take an Uber into Manhattan to go to a 24-hour animal hospital. I'm sitting in New York traffic in this fucking Uber, and I just like feel my dog slowly but surely just disappearing in my arms. And when we're a few blocks away from the animal hospital, I just run out of the Uber and start running because the traffic isn't moving. And as I'm running, my dog is dying in my arms. This dog is like how old are they when you get them? Yeah, he's a few months old. It's a little baby. After that, I went back. At this point, they finally let me switch apartment. They won't let me out the lease, though. They let me switch apartment. And the fucking, excuse my language right now, the fucking cunt whore manager for this building, she was the one who had told the staff to go in and put the poison in my apartment. Because, so, again now, I got in people checking the apartment. It turned out that there was fucking rat poison everywhere still, like traces of it. Even though they had brought in peoples and confirming that it was not. And this bitch, that she's the one who had told her staff to go in and do this. Not taking pest control. Literally, she told the staff to go in and do this shit. I remember I'm walking with my friend and I come back to the complex and I see this lady and I get scared of myself. I saw her and I told my friend, please lead me away from here because I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. So my friend just like, come, okay. She like takes me out of, like, we go somewhere. That's probably the angriest I've been in my entire life. And after that, I mean, I don't know. I hope she can never live with herself again. She quit that job and started working at a grocery store desk thing. I'm sure she felt bad, but it's like, but the problem is too, like, first of all, the law in New Jersey doesn't care. A dog doesn't mean anything. A dog is just a piece of property. So it was just loss of property. There was no lawyer. I had some guy like actually trying to help me, but he said there's no point. Like, there's nothing. There's not going to be anything. A dog means absolutely nothing over there. It was absolutely fucked up.
They haven't changed the law. Have you checked?
In Jersey? No,
No.
I don't know. This was just, I don't even know what to say. And this fucking, so I said, we're trying to sue them. Also, the beacon, they have like had it set up that way. I'm sure they've been in other legal shit. You know, when you're trying to see what information to use on the lawsuit, it's like one company owning another company, leading to another address. Like you can't find them. It's set up that way.
Wow.
It's very
because they probably had a bunch of other complaints and other people complaining about their apartments as well.
They said, I will, the day I'm more famous, I'm going to go on TV and I'm going to shit on these assholes.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if they would have been polite and nice and done things right the first time, I might have not forgotten, but forgiven them, but 2 times.
Yeah.
And treating me like trash. And also saying several times to me that it was my own fault. And I was just making it all up because I was angry. What? I have proof.
Yeah, I agree.
After that, I don't think I spoke to people for like 2 years after that. I was just by myself. Hated fucking humans.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
That's all fine. But that's the time when I've been the most angry in my entire life. That's what I was going to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's rough. I mean, I don't know what I've done in that situation. I know myself at that time. How many years back this happened?
Maybe like 7 years.
Oh, 7. Oh, yeah. So I was a different breed.
7, yeah.
I would have been, wow.
No, I was pretty good. Because when I lived in Sweden, I remember I had a temper. It was bad. And I would get mad for shit all the time. But then when I came to this country, because I was working a long time on, like, I didn't like the way I was. So I worked very hard on that.
What do you mean you didn't like the way you
Like,
was?
I didn't like the fact that I would get irritated and mad over things like this.
When did you start picking up on that?
In Sweden. That's why I stopped partying. Because the alcohol was doing it to me. For sure.
Yeah. So when you let's say when you drink, if you decide to drink, do you think that you get angry when you drink, or your emotions get? Because there's people like that.
I would always get into fights with my ex-boyfriends when we were drinking. Always. and I'm not saying it was like me starting a fight, but it was probably from both ends. I just think alcohol doesn't do well with people these days. You know how I am. I have like a half a glass of wine and then I'm tipsy and that's it. So I'm never gonna get to the point where it's even possible to pick a fight these days, which I'm very happy with the way things are.
It's funny that you bring that up because this one of my questions that I ask somebody when I'm ready to date, because there's people that drink. I don't drink like that at all. But I asked him, like, so what kind of person are you when you drink?
Yeah, that's very important.
It's very important because my last two relationships, the first one was, I can't even express, but the second one, same thing. Like, these people would drink and they would be different people, very angry about everything, irritable. They start off very sweet with you. And then as the alcohol starts to rise, they start picking fights for nothing. And I'm just like, I am not trying to babysit, nor am I trying to deal with that type of person. So, yeah.
No, because that's exactly how I would get when I would drink a lot. Yeah. But to get like that, it takes drinks. It doesn't take a drink.
Yeah. Well, some people take 2 drinks. Yeah. And it's boom.
But I think too, like, that's a thing. Like, if I meet somebody, I have to, we have to have the same beliefs and stand for the same things. Yes. Also, into health and everything. But also, I need to have not necessarily an argument, but a disagreement somehow with this person to really know how do I act with this person, because that's different too. I think, let's say you and me have a disagreement, I might be in a certain way, while if I have a disagreement with somebody else, I might be different depending on how that person is. Because I know for a fact that my ex and he got very, very aggressive, and then I get aggressive too because he triggers me into that. So I know too, like, I need to know how I would be around that person. And then same too. Hey, we gotta freaking have a couple of drinks together just to see. Yeah. Not that I do it very often, but.
When was the last time we had a disagreement?
A disagreement?
Yeah.
Wait, me in general?
Me
or
and you.
Us?
Me and you.
Oh.
Me and you. I think. Yeah.
There was something. The only things we've not disagreement, but the only thing we've had like a.
I remember.
Pleasant conversation about is the podcast.
Yeah.
No, that you're a little disorganized.
Yeah.
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 That's it. But now you have clearly explained to me what it takes for you.
Yeah. So in terms of let's break this down. This organization thing. So I need a to-do list. If I don't have a to-do list in front of me, if I don't know what I'm doing that day, my head's going to be all over the place. Maaxx is a different breed. She can wake up and she knows exactly what she has to do, what time and everything, without writing things out. If I don't write things out and it's not in front of me.
No, I do write things out, but it's a little different.
Yeah, well, a to-do list. And do you have a to-do list?
Yeah, I have one, but I think that we talked about this, how I will write my own to-do list. Like, I will just think, oh shit, I gotta do this.
Yeah,
I write it down so I don't forget, and that's it. While you might do that sometimes, but you also need, like, if I ask you to do something, I have to say the trigger word to-do list so that you write it down.
Oh yeah, to-do list. Yeah. That's how I operate.
So I think that would be the difference. Yeah. That I just think of it in my mind and then I write it down for myself.
Yeah, my assistant helps me out a lot. Shout out to Chelsea because she writes out my to-do list and she sends me emails and text messages. Hey, it's not finished yet. Like, I need you to finish the to-do list. So she reminds me, and that's how I operate. Because I can't operate with just waking up and being like, okay, well, this is what I have to do today, and then I'll just forget, and then I'll just try to, and then I'll spread myself too thin trying to please something. You get me?
I'm like a Chelsea person.
Yeah,
that's how I am, and you're not. But that was that.
Yeah.
So we've had a few conversations. I don't know if I would call it a disagreement, just a less happy conversation.
No, there was one time where I came late for something because I had a photo shoot and I didn't make the time.
You didn't tell me. That's what it was.
Yeah, they changed this. I put my phone down and then we're sitting there and I'm just waiting. I'm like, okay, cool. Because they didn't want me on my phone because they're taking pictures or whatever. And this is like a whole production thing. It wasn't like
I wasn't informed about any of this, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting there waiting.
Yeah,
and
waiting.
I can't stand when people waste my time.
Yeah, that was. How did
But
I?
hey,
How did I?
I'm fine with forgiving people. We had a conversation, and I explained.
How did I handle
why.
that situation?
Oh, you're always so freaking calm.
I did.
That's why I think I can't get super, super angry around you because you're such a calm person.
Yeah.
So I can't, like, if this was my ex, for example, that'd be fucking fire burning around us. Like, because he was so, no, but
Yeah.
that's what I mean with, I don't know how I would be around. You're such a calm person in general. I don't think that you and me could really get into a super crazy argument, because how am I supposed to be fiery, crazy, screaming around somebody that is calm? Like, you can't do that. But if you're around somebody and you start a disagreement and that person starts screaming, then what I'm trying to do is, because this person is just screaming and screaming, then I start raising my voice, right? Because it triggers me to do that. But with you, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, I'm just I don't know.
That's why I think certain people just
No.
don't work together.
Yeah,
That's just as easy as that.
Yeah, it's funny. You know what I'm thinking about?
No, what?
This has nothing to do with us, but it has to do with my old boss.
Yeah.
This is funny. This is because I don't know. Like, I don't know how I am when I'm in a situation with somebody that's yelling or like arguing with me. Like, I don't think of these things. I'm just who I am. So my boss, he comes in one day, yo. He comes in, right? Like, this is when I used to work for people. Now I don't work for nobody. So when he came in very upset one day, and literally the F bombs, the this and this, and like, it was just insane, like what he was saying, and it was, near borderline, like kind of like crazy and disrespectful. And I'm sitting there like this, just staring at him like, okay. And the next day he comes in and he's like, oh my God, dude, I just want to come in here and apologize. Like, how did you just let me just come in here and just violate you like that? I'm so sorry. That was so disrespectful. I don't know where that came from. And I'm just like, dude, like, it's cool. Like, I get it. You run multiple companies. You stress out about a lot of things. And I know that you don't mean it. So if you want to just come in here and just lay it on me, and if you just want to express yourself, no problem, go right ahead. Because I know at the end of the day, you're not that type of person. Now, even if you are that type of person, I'm still going to be calm about the situation, but I'm not going to allow you, just because I'm calm, I'm not going to allow you to step on me. And I don't need to yell at you to have my point across, because I think that even with the people that I was with before, they always said that when I said something, it was just like, I'm not going to keep explaining. Like, hey, look, this is how I feel, and I'm done. And then you're going to have to take it for what it is. And if you don't take it for what it is, then I don't know what to tell you.
Did you just get married? What happened over there?
No, I'm just, I
made yourself a wedding ring.
I
don't even know what it is.
Shout out, ladies. I'm single.
By the way, I have to wrap up soon because I have a posing client now.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys
Gotta get them babes ready for the WBFF stage.
That's right. That's what we do. So, thank you guys for listening, and over and out.
We'll get back about the food.